Imagine how different your life would be if you never had the chance of attending university. If you studied in a school with no chairs in the classroom, with broken tables, walls, or roofs, and no access to the internet. If you had no bed and you'd need to sleep every day on the floor. Or if you were never given the possibility to learn English. When I ask myself that question, the answer actually terrifies me. However, I don't need to ask myself to imagine it, because I just spent 2 months volunteering as an English teacher in a place like this. Welcome to BC Foundation, located in Lombok, Indonesia, in a very rural, small and poor village. This foundation was created in 2007 thanks to Mr. Tony, who believes in a better future for the young generations of Lombok. Since I arrived, I listened to my students talking about the very little amount of people that are able to afford university in Lombok. Most of them had the dream to study at university, but once they reached 19 years old, they realized that dream would be impossible, because none of them could pay the university fees. Moreover, although they have English lessons at schools, when they finish high school they are not able to speak or understand any English. Me myself, I went to around 15 schools to give motivation speeches about the importance of studying English for having a better future, and I always needed someone to translate all my speech. Most of them weren't even able to answer the question, "How old are you?" After living in Lombok, I started to understand the huge importance of learning English for them. Without English, these people are only able to work as labor either in Lombok or in other countries nearby, with a very little payment to send to their families. This is the main reason why Mr. Tony started this project. He studied English by himself and it was the only way that he could find a decent job at a hotel. This is how he realized that if he could provide English lessons at an affordable price for the people in Lombok, they could have access to better jobs in the hospitality industry. And this is what BC Foundation is about nowadays. The students join our English program for about 3 to 6 months and they study and live in the building of BC. After finishing the English program, which is also focused on hospitality lessons and includes a 1-week training at a restaurant, the students go on training for a period of 3 months in a hotel or a restaurant in Lombok or the Gili Islands. And most of them get hired after this period, achieving the goal of having a good job and salary. Nevertheless, BC Foundation is facing a huge problem now. After the earthquake that occurred in 2018, many houses and buildings were destroyed or severely damaged, including our building. After that, BC building has many cracks on the walls and it's no longer safe to live or teach inside. In addition, some problems occurred and the land of the building no longer belongs to Mr. Tony. After many struggles, Mr. Tony was able to buy a new land and in 2017 the construction of the new building started, but it's limited to the donations that BC Foundation receives. Our project consists in 2 buildings. One will have the bedrooms for the students and the classroom for the English lessons, and the other building will be a restaurant open for tourists where the students can work and learn how to be a waiter, housekeeper or chef while they study in BC, so they will have more chances of being hired in the future. The building for the restaurant has just been finished. However, we just ran out of all the money and the construction can't currently continue. The goal of Mr. Tony is to finish the 2 buildings before 2020 ends, so the new semester can already start in a new building. This is how the money that we'll get from this fundraising will be used. To continue the construction of the new building and have it finished before the end of 2020. The more time we stay in the old building, the less safe it is. If BC Foundation cannot continue during the upcoming years, many young people from Lombok will lose their only opportunity to learn English and have a brighter future. After my experience in BC Foundation, I feel the responsibility and commitment of helping these people in all the ways that I can. Seeing my students succeed after they stay in BC and how thankful their families are is worth any effort. In the long term, we have the goal of building a homestay also, next to the foundation, and we are already planting many fruits and vegetables to develop a permaculture course and be self-sufficient. This way, we will also help many students that can't afford bringing their own food to BC, because it could be grown here. In the homestay, they will also learn about receptionist, housekeeping and guide tour skills. We believe it will also be a way of promoting sustainable tourism. I truly believe education is the key to improve our lives and achieve sustainability and the 2030 agenda. And this is the reason why I'm making this fundraising and asking for your help. because it will help an enormous number of young people in Lombok that truly need it. Moreover, the impact of this project and BC Foundation is not limited to a near future, but many more generations will benefit from it. Clean water, shelter, medical care, internet, and education are basic needs that Lombok people don't have access to in many cases. Let's help them achieve a successful future by providing them the first step, a place to stay, and have access to a quality education. Thanks for your time, and I hope we can make together BC Foundation a long-lasting place for young people to study English in Lombok.
BC for our brighter future. Right course, we